Hey, hello, I'm Kråkan, also known as Corvus Conix, and welcome to YACC, yet another Crowcast where I pick a game, I play it for a week, and then I'll talk about it. This week's game is Half-Life, the original one, by Valve Software, and it was released in 1998, and also there were spoilers up ahead, just so you know. So, I have a special guest. I'm here with my brother, and he goes by the name Tryhead on YouTube. Check out his stuff. Or not. Maybe better that way. It's a dead channel, guys. It's dead. But so we grew up with this game, and this goes into the background story. I played this like a demo in like a computer magazine, because back in the days you got demos with computer magazines, and I picked this up and I played it, and
I remember that.
Yeah, and the demo was called Uplink. And I played a little bit this week. It was on the original Half-Life disc, which is also kind of funny. I'm going to be jumping random because there's so much shit connected to this. So I found my original copy in my closet where I have a lot of stuff. And I try to make it run on my Windows 10 machine, but I had some problems with actually making it run. But I didn't patch the game. I just started running it and doing some cross-reference on YouTube and stuff, and changing graphic modes, because you can't force a new computer to run an old game. Well, you can.
It's hard stuff.
Yeah, it's really hard. You have to run as an administrator, or you have to it doesn't not like to run in software mode, so you just kind of say well, you can run it in Direct 3D or OpenGL, even though you don't have the drives for it. But you trick the system and believe it, well, this works, obviously. And then I think it's kind of funny, but I made it run anyway. So I played the demo, and I remember the booklet that it came with. They had a little review of the game.
Yeah.
And they talked about the main character.
I thought
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
It was the typo. I liked that, because Morgan Freeman, as a kid, I was like, who the fuck is that? And this that black guy.
Oh yeah, it was the typo.
It was a typo. I was like, as an old guy, kind of. Now I'm like, oh well, that's funny. Who's Morgan Freeman? I mean,
it's actually two completely different characters.
Yeah.
But no, I remember that game. It was the demo.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was pee pants scary.
Yeah,
because of the atmosphere, and
the demo has a lot of jump scares, and I forgot about it. I was walking around with my gun or crowbar out, and I was got jumped by a head crab, and I was I don't remember anything of this demo. And the demo is also very crudely constructed, because it's
very janky.
And jaggedy, exactly. So it's jump scares and everything, and I died 100 times in the demo. I was
it was hard.
Yeah, and it's I put it on easy, and it's even though it's well, fuck you, we're gonna blast you with an anti-air gun or whatever.
Yes.
I just opened a door and boom. Oops.
Yeah, you got pwned real hard.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah. So this game has also a couple of expansions, and if it weren't for Half-Life or Half-Life, you wouldn't have Counter-Strike and all those kind of games, and Opposing Force and Blue Shifts, and the modding scene for this game is brilliant. You have all these creative people that make awesome stuff, and then you have the other side that makes total garbage and just...
What was the name of that? Red Fraction, or what the fuck it was called?
Yeah.
Remember? It was so
was that a cowboy game?
No. It was that, I think that they had the Half-Life engine or whatever, and then they, like you said, they just made a ton of shit.
Yeah. I even did some modding back in the day. I remember I made some maps.
Total shit.
Yeah. Well, some of them were. I mean, you figure out how to do triggers and stuff.
Yeah.
And how to texture stuff. I remember I made a Christmas tree, and I was so proud. But I just had triangles on top of each other in this program. You made levels in a program called Worldcraft. But it's also referred to as Hammer, and it uses crude assets from Quake Engine, and you can basically make basic levels if you know a little bit about shapes and stuff, and you have this drawn out window where you can shapes. Yeah, it's really crude and elementary. I made some levels, and I forced you and my younger sisters to play with me.
Yes,
and it was I played this game so much. I mean, I felt bad that I crushed my little sister in retrospective, but it was whatever.
that will just come out in funny ways when she's older, you know.
Yeah, she will remember. Those scary games. You killed me with a shotgun. No. But yeah, let's talk about the game then. So the game starts with the main character of Morgan Freeman, or Gordon Freeman, and him actually arriving late to work. He is taking a train down to Black Mesa Research Facility, and it's I think it is in Nevada or something.
The desert.
Yeah, beneath the ground there's like a complex of tunnels, and so anyway, he's arriving late to work, and you pass by a security guard on the way there who's banging at the door. He is the main character of Half-Life Blue Shift, Barney Calhoun.
Yes.
And there's like a little tie-in between the games because you start and you both are late to work. But anyway, so you arrive at the, I think it's like a portal experiment facility. But
something like that, yeah.
And you go down into like to the locker room, and you pick up the HEV suit, the hazardous environment suit, and it's like a heavy-duty kind of not army tech but science tech. It's like they have this suit for protection. It has like charging.
Yeah, hazardous suit environment protection system thingy.
Yeah, so you get like a life bar of 100, and you have like a chargeable shield, so you can pick up these battery packs, and you can recharge them at like stations. And the same thing goes with health. You can find like med packs, and you can find like health stations, I guess.
Yeah,
it's like
I remember. Yeah, I remember the doctors too. They were like, oh,
yeah.
They carry around like syringes of some green stuff, and it's like, oh, here, oh.
Yeah. If I think if your health drops below 40 and you kind of use the use key on them, you get a shot of it.
Yeah,
I don't know why
25% back,
or something like that.
20. It's basically like they're carrying
it
around.
Depends on the difficulty of the game also, because you get less at higher difficulties, I believe. I mean, I've not played in that. I know you can die really fast in this great game. There are like a lot of places, for instance, and there are triggers in the game too. You can be squashed by invisible things like doors and elevators, because there's like you have it's kind of it's a bit hard to explain, but they have like triggers. So if you go in front of a door and push against it, the door will open, right? So there are hidden triggers out the game that you turn on lamps and open doors and operate machinery.
Yeah, to the microwave and shit like that.
Yeah, you can actually blow up someone's dinner because you push all the buttons, and you can actually.
My God,
what are you doing?
Yes,
and you can. It's actually also a little funny fact. You can use like the use keys on this soda can dispenser, and you get like 1 health for 1 can.
Yeah.
So there's little small touches here and there. But anyway, this is the point of having a guest on the show, Ramble, and this fun, because a lot of nostalgia and just looking back at a game brings up so much, I guess.
Yeah.
So you go into the locker room, you put on your HEV suit, and you can actually go into your own locker and pick up a power charger, and there's like some books and some family photos and whatnot. But you
I think it was a little Easter egg there too, in his locker, because I think they were having when creating the game, they actually had writers too.
Oh yeah, I mean, there is a story, even though Gordon Freeman doesn't speak. There's like the environment telling a story, and you have to have some kind of script to go by. Sure.
Yeah, and I think it was. I saw it the other day. It was this dude on YouTube that was talking about it, and he was like, "Oh, when they had writers."
Yeah. I mean, I didn't look at the wiki, but that seems like
I think it, like in his locker, Gordon Freeman, the main character, I think it's like a book in there by the author that worked on the game too. Some little tidbit like that. So the game is so mashed with
small things.
Yes, and
I wasn't even thinking about Easter eggs when I did the playthrough of the game. I was like, well, I'm just gonna. I go by memory and routine and everything, so I just don't pick up on things. I just.
That is basically the only thing I know when it comes to that sort of details with the Easter eggs and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's like this other rant. If you played with one of the GTA games, you have like there is no Easter eggs here, or you're not supposed to be here. There's like these, and there's literally I think it was the Golden Gate Bridge in San Andreas. There's like a note that says there's no Easter eggs here, and there's like an Easter egg. And on the top of it or something, I was like, Easter eggs. So anyway, you make it to the the anomalous materials facility. I'm gonna cut that out. But yeah, so basically what you do is you push like a trolley into an energy beam, and everything goes wrong, and you get transported into another dimension I think it's called Sen.
Yeah.
And you, for the first time, you meet these alien kind of creatures. I think they're called slavers or something. They have like these wristbands.
The Vorgons or something.
Yeah, thank you, because I didn't remember the name, but they have like green wristbands.
Yes.
So technically they're slave to another type of alien race.
I think they sort of been, when it comes to traveling in the dimension things, when you're pushing that trolley into that beam of light, to create like they just want to test it, I suppose.
Yeah.
And then they create, what the fuck do they call it?
Resonance cascade scenario.
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't even know what that means, but that sounds cool. It sounds cool.
And apparently, those aliens in another dimension, they've been trying to breach out. I think it was.
I did not know that. That's cool. That's lore building and shit.
I think it is something like that. And then they actually had the opportunity to do that when the scientists were meddling with the materials, and everything goes haywire after that.
Yeah. So, the machinery that they operate were not supposed to do these things in the first place. So you have this like age technology, like computers that are like big, like buses. I mean, like a refrigerator, and they all these instruments and stuff. So the kind of technical side is old, but they, so all the facility kind of breaks down. And
I think it was sort of like a strange day at the facilities as well.
There was something wrong with the equipment as well. Yeah.
Yeah, everything was like slow that day, and things were not working as they should have been working.
Yeah, I forgot about that. But that's when you go to work, you pass all these scientists and whatnot, and they say, what the hell is going on with our equipment?
Yeah,
and
it's about to go critical.
Like exploding things. Yeah, this is a normal work day, sure, But, so everything goes wrong, and you basically try to reach the surface. That's the point. So you traverse the facility, and the elevators are broken and snapping up.
You never trust the elevators.
Never trust the fucking elevators. And you pick up like a crowbar, and that's like the universal tool of the Half-Life universe. It's also a weapon, but it also like you can open crates and you can bash enemies with it. And
it has a really mean swing too. It's like
it's like super speedy. I mean,
everything is fast in that game. I love that thing with the older games like Doom and Quake.
Yeah,
so everything's like on crack and it's so fast.
Yeah.
And
I did this thing. I was at Dollar Store like a couple of weeks ago, and
you smashed shit.
No, I wasn't smashing. I didn't smash shit, but I picked up a crowbar and I was like trying to swing it as fast as he did, and I was almost dropped the thing because it weighed like 4 kilos or more, and I was like, Jesus, how can he swing this so fast? And it's like ridiculous. So
that was the appeal of it too, like how everything felt. It was a horror scenario playing this game. It was terrifying, especially with the head crabs. In my opinion, that's like one of the first enemies you encounter.
Yeah. I mean, they jump out of you, basically trying to catch your face.
Yes.
So it's
face humpers.
Like I think they're inspired from like the Alien movies, the face huggers.
Most definitely.
It has to be like, but the sound they make is like really, really weird. But anyway, it's like they jump you at every chance they get, and it's mostly jump scares. So you get like
startled.
Yeah, startled.
Yeah, and then they sort of built on that, like you freaking out, like trying to maintain focus.
Yeah.
And like they had a lot of platforming too.
Yeah. There's like a puzzle when you get deeper into the game, when you're trying to get topside. There are these like boxes hanging from the ceiling for some reason.
Yeah.
And there's like this void, and you have to like. That's one of those puzzles that are easy if you've done it 100 times, but you're not supposed to jump. You're just supposed to.
You can walk
up the ledge.
Exactly, yeah. I remember.
And it's like I don't have to jump. I can just walk. And the puzzles are there to kind of teach you how to play the game. but most of the time you actually crawl through air ducts and ventilation systems to reach other areas because
rather than using the elevators.
Yeah, you use every like other way than the obvious way. And there's still like this funny puzzle which is after this part. You get to the office complex and
I love that.
And you're supposed to turn off the electricity, and the whole room is flooded with water.
Yes.
And it's like this stupid puzzle. You have to jump on tables and stuff, and to get to the light switch to turn off the lights and turn off the electricity. In the meantime, you can't see shit, and you get jumped by crabs, and you get startled, you fall into the water, and you like panic.
I remember that was something that was eerie to me. Well, not eerie, but that's the wrong word. Like when you die, and because you have the same physics as the creatures and stuff, so you can explode. But you're still lying there, you can move the camera around, I remember, and you can see your body parts and stuff like that. Your skull can slide.
Yeah, that happened like 100 times in the demo. You know, you explode and you see your own skull. Yeah, it's very gory.
It's very gory. And sometimes it was so stupid because I remember it took me out of the immersion with the head crabs.
Yeah.
They were, doing the head crab thing that they do, and then you can get them to get completely pulverized and explode them with whatever.
That's the thing. Like,
and the chunks, the meat chunks were bigger than
the actual crab. Yeah, because you can like sneak up on them with the crowbar and you bash them, and then you kind of die. And if you continue to punch like bodies and enemies, they will explode.
And that sound.
Yeah, like it really. Crazy. But anyway, the office complex is like, it has like one of those puzzles where you the ceiling kind of falls down at one part and you have to climb up like service ladders and stuff. You go through the air ducts and you get down another place and you can just open the door. So it's like a Dark Souls thing, you open a shortcut door so you can go forward and back.
Exactly.
And I mean, it's brilliant game design, I guess. And then you pick up other items as well. You pick up like a handgun, a 9mm one, a shotgun.
Did you have like in that game? Sorry, like because you can like shoot, and then if you hold the other mouse button, I think it was, you had like a secondary function.
Yeah. So the gun, I can take this up now. Like the gun, it fires a rapid fire, but it's less accurate. And this special function on the shotgun is like a double-barreled shotgun, which is useful to. The
shotgun was the tits in that game, I remember.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
a good starter pack. But there are other guns that I like better. But it's a good starter.
It had such a brutal sound to it. That's what
absolutely.
I think it was like the expansion later even made it better.
Yeah, they had like, there was this patch that came, the high definition pack.
Yes.
Pack. So all the WAD files, like texture files and audio and models, everything got updated. So
there's crisp.
And really crisp. And the weird thing was the submachine gun looked like a small submachine gun, like a tactical army kind of thing.
Yeah.
But in the Pack 1 or whatever you call it, like Pack 2, I guess, they turned it to an M4, like an M16 gun, and it got so brutal, and the sound, I mean. So when I went into like an air duct and you fire that thing up, it's like the audio is also like environment based.
It's very good.
So imagine firing a shotgun in like an air duct, your ears will probably blow out. But it's actually clever.
Yeah, and the way like they designed the sound of the characters too. Like they have the monologue, I remember, but depending on what's happening, the AI adapted to it, so you can have the same type of dialogue, but they said it like a little different, like maybe lower pitched, calmer, and then somewhere in the middle they did it too, and then they could be screaming. You can notice that very easily on the soldiers, depending on the situation is.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably like easy to code that stuff, but you're right. I didn't even think about it,
And that's why we talk.
That's why we talk.
Yeah.
So we can go on about this rant, but the machine gun has a secondary function. You fire grenades and stuff. But there are other guns you pick up along the way, like an experimental kind of like high velocity energy weapon. I forgot the name of it.
There are two of those kind of weapons, I think.
There's one, there's like a bigger version of that. It's like a backpack that fires like a beam.
Yeah, a blue beam.
A blue beam. And the other one I think it's the goo gun or gog gun or something, and you can in the multiplayer you can actually use it to jump higher.
Yes.
So you charge up the thing with the special function, and when you let go and jump, you kind of force yourself through the air. So you can do a lot of. It's like rocket jumping, but without the damage, like in Quake or Doom.
I remember that too. Like when getting the rocket launcher.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
it's so stupid. You know, there's a bunch of platforming and it's hard, and you get chased by a fucking helicopter forever. And at the end of it, you get the rocket launcher, and it had like the laser pointer too. And that was also something that was...
Yeah, it followed the pointer.
Yeah, that was cool. You have to like immediately you do this now. You don't and the game developers were like, you should have been. You should.
Oh yeah. I knew what you're trying to say. Yeah.
You needed this like half an hour ago. Here you go, you little fucker. No, it was brutal in that way.
So I'm gonna go back to the game.
Yeah.
So you go deeper into the game and you run into this weird facility that is overrun with radioactive material. Like a leakage. It's called the blast pit.
Oh, I hated that.
Yeah, but there are some small tricks to it. So the blast pit itself is a blast pit. It's like a cylindrical form room with 3 pecking monsters, green worm pecking monsters in the middle. They have names. I don't remember what they're called, but the main point of the puzzle, I guess, is that you're supposed to burn these 3-headed green worm things.
Yeah, you get the oxygen running and the fuel.
And the fuel and all that. So the trick to this is, right when you get into the room, these things hear you. And I think even the security guard at the entrance kind of tells you, be quiet. But as a kid, I was stupid. I didn't know that you could actually walk in the game because you run by default. So it depends on the key, how you bind your keys and stuff. So I always have like a shift to walk. So I just walk out there and I throw grenades to like...
the areas you need to go, kind of.
Yeah, you direct them, and so it's like easy if you just do that. You just move a bit, and you throw a grenade, you run, you throw a grenade, you walk, and kind of...
You can open a path in front of you, like you lob a grenade.
Yeah, because there are boxes that blocks the ladder.
Exactly,
yeah,
and they fucking boarded up things. You blow those, and then you can throw a grenade in another direction and just go for it.
So, yeah, I mean, that's the part of the blast pin. It's kind of satisfying getting up to the control room and just pushing the red button and burning those out.
Yeah, because those were fucking assholes.
Yeah, I don't know. There has to be like some kind of guy on the other side of the portal. Let's put these worms right in the blast pit.
They spawned there.
Yeah, they spawned there. Put them there. How did he got there? I don't know. But anyway, you burn them down, you go down the hole, and then you pick up the Magnum, which is my favorite weapon, but there is like, I remember it doing a lot more damage than it actually does, so it's kind of a slow weapon. So you kind of shoot, and then you get some retaliating fire or whatever.
That and like the crossbow were the most powerful.
Yeah, the crossbow is awesome, and that can also fire underwater. There's like this puzzle even later in the game where you go like into basically a shark tank, and there's like this kind of alien shark, I guess, with lots of teeth, and you fall down in the water, and you're like, what do I do? Yeah, the crossbow can fire underwater, so you just kill it. But that's even further in the game. So I don't remember if the train part is before or after, but that puzzle
on a rail.
Yeah, on a rail. I hate that because you go on this thing and
you can't do shit. You just have to sit there.
Yeah, so you have like these switch puzzles. You have to like shoot at switches to change the tracks, and you can't drive fast because then you will get attacked by monsters.
Yeah, there's a script.
Yeah, so there's like a nice skip that I saw online and I used it. It's like a little gap. If you kind of accelerate your speed movement, I think it's called bunny hopping. You can actually skip the whole thing. And
let's do that.
All that stuff.
We're gonna play that section again.
Or no clip it or whatever. Just fly over it.
Fuck that shit.
So the next part that comes up is you have to launch a rocket. So there's like this weird puzzle, and I talked to.
I was like that type of rocket. You fired a rocket, no, but it's a big one.
Yeah, like a missile rocket.
Yeah, and they're like, this is gonna fix everything, and it doesn't fix.
Yeah, so I talked to my work buddy Richard about this, and I kind of cheated it a bit. It's like. Instead of going into the facility, I went in from the outside. So there's like there's all these soldiers on the inside of this silo launching facility. So I just, instead of going through all the booby trap, the bombs and everything, I just went up to the side of the roof and I pushed a button through the wall.
Yeah.
And I was like on the other side of the thing when the rocket launched. All these enemies spawned behind me because it's a scripted thing, a time thing. So I was like, all of a sudden there were like 10 soldiers. I was like, okay, crap. So I just, instead of killing them, I just ran for the exit.
Yeah.
But and even later in the game, you get attacked by assassins really quick.
The women.
The women, black assassins. They are really fast and they shoot at you, and then you get captured and thrown in a garbage disposal, kind of like a garbage press, guess you could say.
The strange thing is that they just strip you of your weapons.
And they throw you down there, basically.
Yeah, why didn't they kill you?
They just wanted to have more fun because the guys kind of says like, well, what if they found a body? And
what body?
And they, laughing, and they just throw you in a garbage press because they're evil. So there's one thing I forgot to tell. Also, they think that the military guys is actually supposed to save them, but they are there to cover up the whole thing.
Yeah, clean it.
So they basically, you think like, well, the militaries are good, the American heroes or whatnot. No, they're there to kill you. So, I mean...
It's always fun too to see how the enemies duke it out in between themselves. Like...
Yeah, because the Marines fight the aliens and vice versa, and you are just like the third part of it. Everyone wants you dead, but they fight each other occasionally.
Yeah, it's always like... When you come into the scenario of them fighting each other, you can just grab your popcorn and see what the AI makes of it.
Yeah.
Usually end up, everyone is blown to shit.
Yeah.
It's always like that.
Because
grenade.
There's actually a meme about this, that the soldiers love to throw grenades at everything, and they are like even each other, and there's like, oops, and they kill each other, and there's like chunks of meat, and I was like, you're stupid. Why do you lay down a grenade? Your bodies are just next to you.
They did that, didn't they?
Yeah,
this is like a fucking dumb AI thing where they get like interrupted in the script or whatever, that in the animation of what they're doing.
Yeah, I think the soldiers are like, well, Morgan Freeman, I'm gonna take you with me.
Yeah, something like that too. It's strange how they react sometimes.
Yeah, because it's not like advanced AI or anything. It's just basic programming. I think I did some of the modding stuff, so I know that the soldiers run on guided tracks called navs. So if the navs are kind of interrupted, they don't know what to do. So they just stand around. So if I did some experiments, I had a scientist model, so I just assigned an entity. So it's like it has like C1, C2, and C3. So what happens if you go to C1, you go to C3. So I made him like go in a circle because I was wondering how the triggers worked, and I was like experimenting.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's like, well, okay, you can do this. I don't think this is the way you're supposed to do it, but it works. It just like Todd Howard in Skyrim. It just works. And then there's bugs and glitches. It just works. But yeah, I mean, that's it, I guess.
Yeah.
So gameplay, survive till the end, go through the levels, and
do a little bit of puzzling.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of straightforward. It's a FPS. Go from the beginning to the end and try to survive, and get in the end you can get like two choices. Either you join with the main bad guy, and we forgot to talk about him, but he's called G-Man, and he is basically a guy with a briefcase and a blue suit.
Yeah, he's like here and there in the game.
Yeah, he has like some kind of teleportation technology. I think he works for the enemy, and that's he. At the end of the game, this is a big spoiler. He offers you a choice basically to join him or not, and if you don't join him, you get to like a impossible scenario ending. You get stripped of all your weapons, and you get put in against 100 millions of alien gods. Or you choose to step into his door and be employed by him, I guess.
You can also... There's a third ending where you kill yourself.
Really?
Yeah.
The first one, okay.
Yeah, and it says like, no regrets, Mr. Freeman.
I did not know that.
I think it's one of those cheat endings where you get yourself...
Because you don't have weapons.
No, exactly, and then you give yourself your weapons.
Oh yeah, the Impulse 101 cheat.
Yeah, exactly, and then you...
Wow, weird.
You didn't know that?
No, I
well, spoilers, it is.
Yeah, a spoiler to a 20-year-old game. I didn't know.
Cool. Yeah, well...
Yeah. So, Control. The Control is basically and simple, it's like you use a like keyboard and mouse, and you shoot with the left mouse button. You can do special attacks with the right one, and you move with A. W.
Yeah, W.
A is D, and F is like the flashlight, and E is the use key, which you use to press buttons, open doors, and everything. And spacebar is jump, and you can also unbind and remap the keys.
And you had like the special type of jumping where the crouch jumping.
Yeah, duck jumping. And forgot to tell about that also.
There's a lot of shit when it comes to jumping.
Yeah, you have like a training mode called the hazard course, and it's basically a warm up thing. You learn how to jump and duck, and if you jump and duck at the same time, you can do a crouch jump or a duck jump, so you can get into pipes,
smaller areas,
and it's super useful. So you can kind of climb small ledges and stuff, and it's about timing. But yeah, that's the control. So graphics. I had a little trouble getting this game running as it's supposed to. We talked about this in the beginning. I was playing the unpatched version. I just picked this game out, and so I had to force the game to run in a lower resolution, and I had to run it like an administrator on the computer, and I had to force it to do OpenGL graphics, even though my graphic card doesn't like it. So first I tried like doing a software mode, but the graphics card didn't render anything. I was like, well, obviously it's 1998. It's 2000.
I find it so strange that you can't play like older games.
I mean, it's kind of like it's due to the process that the graphic card renders stuff, and also the processor, because it runs too fast. So
yeah,
there are a lot of things with like hardware, and I think it's clocking frequency.
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff that goes into making games, and technology change all the time. So I mean,
well, of course, and I'm not into those things a lot, but in my head, it's like, come on, you're so stupid and old. You can just be stupid and old. It's easy. Come on.
Yeah.
But no, apparently, like you said, it's a completely different type of language altogether, technology-wise.
Yeah. I mean, that's usually the case, So, sound and music. So this game has a soundtrack that is attached, because you play off the CD. So...
an excellent soundtrack.
It is. So usually you can actually put in the game in a CD player if you have one. So usually I've done a bit of this stuff myself, you can actually have CD music and raw data on a disc, a CD-ROM. The first track is usually the install track. So if you manage to run that on a stereo, it sounds horrible.
Yes.
But the second track is like some action tracks and all these kind of ambient. So throughout the game, like if you climb like into a ventilation shaft or whatever, they trigger the CD music. And just because this disc is so old, it jumps. It's worn out. So certain tracks run fine. Others like glitch and beep. You can actually turn off the CD music in the options menu, which is good.
Yeah, I remember like the first times when we played Half-Life, we didn't have the music, I think.
Maybe. I mean, you can run the game without the CD in.
I don't know what we did, but I don't remember music that much at all, actually, when we played it the first time. When you played it, I was mostly watching.
Yeah, because when I booted up this week, it was default on. Maybe I didn't have the CD in when I played in the past, because then if you don't have a CD, you can't play the music, obviously.
Gotta be something like that.
Yeah, maybe some later patches remove the CD altogether. It's like, whatever. I mean, you have the Steam version that's all caked and baked in.
Yeah.
But, the original is the way to go. But anyway, the sound and music is great, and we talked about the sound effects too, and they're crisp and in your face, and you have like the EUI or something. There's like an effect mode. We talked about it also. If you go into a ventilation drum, the audio kind of gets distorted. And if you go into a big metal area, you can hear like the wind blowing through the metal. And it's an ambient thing. It's really cool.
Really, yeah. It had that raw type of atmosphere to it.
Yeah, I mean, you imagine what it would sound like to be in a garbage can. Garbage.
Yeah, and the
junkyard.
Yeah, and the sounds.
Imagine being in a garbage can.
No, the sounds too were so good. It fitted the whole everything went so well together, like the sound effects and the voice acting and the music and.
Yeah, well, the only thing you can complain about really is the quality of the speech. That is, I think, is due to the like you have to fit everything on a smaller like disc, so you have to like compress audio and stuff.
Yeah, and they only
it's a whole technical side to it.
They only had like 2 or 3 voice actors.
Yeah, for all the guys.
So every and the models look alike too. I remember.
Yeah.
So there was like, there's the scientist, the scientist 10. Same as Scientist 9 and 8 and 7. Everyone looked the same basically and sounded the same. But, and all the Barneys.
Yeah, they're all the same. They're all.
I think that was something that was fun. The Blue Shift, and they actually changed up some of the models for the cops.
The
security team. They made them fat. A couple of them, and it's still the same voice actors, but they sort of made. Silly voices and try to do other things vocally. It was fun.
Yeah. Well, and in conclusion, I wrote yes. This is a must play. If Half-Life wasn't a thing, you wouldn't have like today's shooter. I guess it kind of there were other shooters before it, but I don't think
like Doom and Quake and those were good.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I mean, this is one of the better 3D. First-person shooters. I mean, I think I played Quake last week, and I mean that game.
The 64 one?
No, the original Quake, because they had the 25th anniversary edition.
Oh yeah, they did.
So I mean, I kind of like Half-Life more. I guess it's one of those without this you wouldn't have. I probably would have Call of Duty and stuff, but
it was definitely like one of those milestones, stone throwing things.
One of those stoned moments. No.
It was brilliant. I remember playing like when I was a kid, when we were kids. It was such a great experience. It was terrifying. We were small kids. But it was still something like, this is so good, can't not play it, even though it was fucking scary and everything, and you sort of like, being a kid, you kind of suck at everything.
Yeah,
so you keep on dying all over and over and over. But it was still like one of those awesome, rememberables moments.
Yeah, one of those rhubarb moments. No,
exactly.
But anyway, this game is like it's on Steam, and it's like it has an updated version that runs on everything from toasters to pocket to cell phones, I guess. So you just download it and play it because it's good. So do you have anything else to say, or should I wrap up? Or
no, I can talk a little shit in general. Yeah. Like I remember the game. It starts like you're on the train, and then. It wasn't like other games because you didn't get thrown into the action immediately or there wasn't just a wall of text or anything. You were just on that train going to work.
I thought you were talking about another game. No, I was thinking like a locomotive. I was like, well, you remember this other game? I was like, what are you?
No, you just go about the daily business.
Trying to go to work, and the opening ride down to the anomalous and to
that word.
That word, yeah. anomalous materials. Only way you kind of see like shoppers, and you see all these other guys going about their business. There's like one guy is kind of pissed off. He wants like a drink, and he kind of bangs the dispense machine because it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And there's this other scientist who just walk around, and they have like these basic animations and stuff.
Yeah, and it was sort of like in the area of like radio. Active materials too, and there's a lot of that in the game.
Yeah,
it's sort of like glowing green and
leakages and stuff of canisters.
Yeah, and this whole facility is like a fucking joke. At some parts, it's like, what the fuck are they doing with these materials?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a waste of some kind, but I mean, it's not really clear. I mean, that's true. Like, that's probably why the game is named Half-Life also, because a half-life is like the time it takes for radioactive materials to break down.
Yeah.
But and it also has the lambda symbol.
Yes.
It's like the Half-Life symbol. Like it looks like an A. So I think that's the term the chemical term for like a half-life. It's like a lambda sign. The Greek letter, I mean, sorry.
Yeah, it was cool too. Like the suit had a character of itself too.
Yeah, there is like a woman's voice that speak like it kind of says like if you get batteries, it kind of says like you got 50%. And the funny line there is like when the suit is at full power level is now 100%.
Yes.
And it goes through like a checklist. And it says like this is on and this is off, and you know. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
It was very cool, and it was like when you were low on health, it said like emergency, user death, imminent.
You will die. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was. I love that suit. I actually wanted to build something like that.
I mean, it would be like a real hassle to like make it, because it has like, if you look at the model when it's in like the display case before you pick it up, it has like a quilted kind of collar,
yes,
and it has like an inside kind of mesh. It's a little
layered. It looks like
it's basically like an overall, but it has like all these
metal parts
and all this. It's like it's a spacesuit basically. It's, if you think about like the Kevlar pieces, and you have like all the technology gadgets and whatnot.
Which was your favorite level, and which level did you hate the most?
Well, the train level can burn in hell, and
that one sucked really hard.
Yeah, but I usually, to be fair, I hate the intro. So when you get on the train, so there's like this, you can bring up the console, and you just type map and space, and you write C1, C10, and you get directly to the anomalous material. So you don't have to go through the hustle, because it takes like 10-15 minutes just to get through the train ride. I mean, it's cool, I've seen it 100 times, but I don't.
Can you imagine being a kid like fucking? What are you doing?
I want to play Half-Life.
I want to play the game. This is the game. You sit here. This is life. You're going to work. Shut your face.
Yes, you have. I mean, it's a way to introduce the credits of the ones making the game, and it's kind of a slow train ride, and it shows off the facility and what the engine can do. But after like 500 times, you don't want to go through.
No, and it's sort of like, but the first time it was actually building a lot of atmosphere.
Yeah, and the character of the Black Mesa itself.
Yeah, exactly, and when everything goes to shit, it's like, bam, right into it. You're gonna have to survive this, and like. The AI of the scientists and the cop, security guards, they can help you around a lot. And
they open doors and
yes, and if you manage to keep them alive, they can actually open secret doors and for ammo.
There was a part before the office complex that I remember. You talk to a scientist that is near death, but if you press the use key, it's not dying. But then you ask him to follow you, and you open up the armory. You can get grenades earlier. But you don't need them, but you can.
Yeah, there's a lot of things like that. You can pick up like the shotgun in several places.
Earlier and stuff.
Yeah.
There's there's also these kind of puzzles that are not explained, like why you can break like vent ducts and crawl up into like the ceiling, and on a beam you find like a battery, and it's like why
the fuck is it here?
Yeah, but it's like this Doom mentality. There's secrets, and
for the most part though, they did it kind of good with like dead bodies everywhere and med packs close to the bodies.
Yeah, they tried to like survive, and they just
Yeah, and it's the one level I didn't.
Okay, that was what we were talking about.
I
forgot. I was like, what were we talking about?
I did not care much for like most people Zen.
Yeah, the end part. Yeah, I mean it has like a lower gravity, so you fly all around the place.
Yeah, that was stupid. I hated it.
And you have like this puzzle with like this spider creature, the one who has like
goes on and on
like Gamora or something like its Slayer. So you have to like damage its balls, if you can say that. I don't know.
Yeah, squishy sack thingy.
So you have to kill it off, and it turns into a portal. I don't remember, but that is also like it's part of the end game. When you're supposed to meet the final boss.
What was the name of that guy?
It starts with an N.
Nolan.
But Nylan something, yeah. But he is also like this twist on it that he is not actually the bad guy.
No, exactly.
He is like being
that goes back to the thing I said in the beginning of this. Like they're trying just to get the fuck out of there. Yeah. The aliens had the opportunity and they took it.
Yeah. So they're not really to blame. It's the other fractions.
And it turns
because
out
there's like a war between the Sen and the Song or whatever they were called. There's like this alien conflict.
yes, and
it's like it's not really defined in the game, but I think
turns out actually I think it was something the scientists had already opened a portal and created those aliens with the fucking fly gun.
Okay.
And I think they were doing shit that people didn't know about earlier too.
Yeah, I mean, probably.
I don't remember the exact thing, but it's all in the game too. If you
really know, super.
But I didn't like the Zen levels, but they fixed it up in that version, Black Mesa, I think it was called.
Yeah, it uses the Source engine to redo most of the assets of the game.
That game is fucking
so
brilliant.
It's basically like Half-Life 2, but the original one.
Exactly. And
so the same engine. It's kind of cool, yeah.
Yeah, they built the game and it was like so cool, and the whole of the Send level, I think it took them like 4 years just to make that.
I have to look that up because I haven't.
I might be talking out of my ass, but I think it was something like that. They completely revitalized that area.
Cool.
Yeah, it's completely different.
Because I've just seen like the demo parts of them being in an office area, and
you should totally play it and check it out.
Yeah, at least check it out because
it's fucking brilliant.
I forgot my password to my Steam account like 5 years ago, and I was like, I don't think I even have like the original email to like verify my login. So I was like, I don't have to play it.
You know what? Fuck it.
Yeah, and that also reminds me like I never played Half-Life 2. And it's one of those things. I bought the game on a CD, physical CD, and I couldn't make it run on my computer because we didn't have internet back in the day.
I remember.
You had to like verify via Steam, and I was like, so I have to. This was so stupid. I had to buy the game on CD physically, but then I also have to download it for it to work on my computer. Having internet, and it's the early days of Steam and shit. And then our friend Robin, our mutual friend, I lended him the copy so he could play like Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
And of course he used my CD key, so now he owns it. So I couldn't verify it back in days. I was like, oh fuck it. Well, it doesn't matter now. And I'm not gonna. I mean, I've seen like speedruns and playthroughs of Half-Life 2, and I know what the game is about. Even the episodes that came after, so I'm not willing to jump into that wagon. I don't think I need to.
I will say this, when it comes to Half-Life 2, I really enjoyed the way they kept the good and juicy stuff when it came to like the sound and how they captured the feeling of it. It was just like, that was actually a good follow-up game.
Yeah, I mean, you have all these things that you already established, and you can just make it better, crisper, and
that's exactly. I understand why people love it so much, and I do too.
Yeah. So there's this other thing I forgot to talk about. There's this speedrunning community around the first game, and I'm very much active on Twitch and Discord. So I recognize a few names in the speedruns, and I actually talked to them. So it's kind of funny. There's just a spliced speedrun with all the different kind of techniques that you can use, and they have like a bot that plays it. So you have like the names show up in the corner, like Berra 55, I don't know, or like Dooster55, and it's like comes up a name. It's Cool Kid, spelled with a K. I know who that is. No. He's also a Swedish dude. And I was like, and his wife or girlfriend plays like Mega Man speedruns.
Oh yeah, I think you mentioned that before.
So it's like, well, I know that guy. Kind of cool kid, yeah. So there's this like community. It's very small, but it also like, it's kind of cool. So I think that wraps it up. We've always been talking for like 50 minutes, so it's gonna be a hassle to edit this as well, but it's gonna be fun.
Just slap it.
Slap it on. Slap someone and go on. I don't know. But anyway, thanks for listening and or watching, and take care.
Bye.